are going to, this is something Baba and I have been talking about for a while now, but, and we spoke a little bit about it in Coffee with Baba this morning, but, we also talked about it a couple weeks ago, or a couple months ago, about how important it is for us to feel like we know the base of what Ifa is. The basics, people always, like one of the first questions people always ask is, do you believe in one God? Yeah. Which I don't know why that matters, but I think that we should easily understand and know the answers to those types of questions. And so today we're calling service, I practice Ifa, ... So we're gonna answer those basic questions so that you can feel like you are filling in the blanks for yourself, or just it might be information and there might be some things you don't know exactly, but we're doing basics today. I show. So we're excited about this one, and we're gonna kind of go through and get it started. But welcome, and it's always good to see you guys. And we're gonna save any questions, and maybe we'll do some questions at the end, but we're gonna save the questions until the very end. But welcome, love to see you, and let's get it started.
Ashe, Ikabo.
So let's start with that. The greetings. When you come into Ifa space, or when you see an awo, a babalawo on the street, there's a greeting. The greeting is Aburu Aboye. And that's just giving respect. Some people will really expect you to do that. And you should, to give respect to any awo, especially if you're entering a space to get a reading, or dafa, or any kind of work. You should learn this greeting. You should always greet Baba by saying Aburo Aboye. And Baba can tell you what that means.
I'm giving the easy part. May you take my sacrifice, may my sacrifice manifest.
Ashe.
We looked it up. Aboya Boshishe is a common response in the Ijebu and other lineages too. But you will hear people say, after you greet Aburo Aboye, we will say Agboato. Agboato. There's more, but I'm just giving you the simple pieces because it'd be a lot to remember. Agboato is also heard when in the Oshukbo Lounge, Ogboni Lounge. We're talking about long life and good health. That's the awo when you say Aburu Aboye, Aboya Boshishe, or people say Agboato, Aboya Boshishe. There's more, but that's the base. If you have the base, it's good, because you're asking for a prayer. You're asking that the awo is doing your sacrifice and lifting it up.
And sometimes an awo will, right on the spot, start praying for you.
Ashe.
So the greeting is beneficial to you. You're asking this awo to kind of give you a blessing and push your prayers up to the heavens.
It's beneficial.
So it's this structure is very much, paying respect to the elders, and this is part of that. If you don't know it, you'll see, the other thing you'll see is that people touch the ground when they see their elders. It's a sign of respect. It's not taking power away from you, it's giving respect. And so we like to do that.
And receiving a blessing.
And receiving the blessing. When you're greeting in awo, in Iya Lorisha or a Baba Lorisha, that's a different greeting.
Yes. You can call, if you can call the name of the Orisha that they are initiated into. Ogunye, 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 oh Ogun. You're asking for the blessings from Ogun. The gorgeous shoes of Shun. Ora ye yo, you're greeting the Ashe of Oshun. And the Oshun people will say, ye ye o, Obatala people. Epa Orisha, Orisha o. So there's different greetings, Egbe greeting. Egbe, Akika Ashege. Muso can also be done after you make the offering for Egbe. And the offering is accepted. He said, Muso. So there's different greetings for the different Orishas, but if you don't know what to do, Aburaboye is safe and simple. Because now that's like a blanket. You're greeting all the Orisha. And I've said this before, that you are greeting the Iya of the house. Aburu Aboye. And we've said this before, the Iyas get sometimes pushed to the side. But if it's Iya proper, the Awo's wife, you're greeting her.
Sure.
If you're paying respect to the Ashe of the mother of the house and the one who helps support Babalawo, it's also indirectly greeting to our Pwete B. You know, that's, so you see, this can go and go and go.
We're trying to stay basic, but.
So let me do this. Oturapon Meji was the Odu from Milefe for the year. That Odu starts. Olobokan o ta koko omishete setiasho omoran omoye erupe ile. Arinaka arina debiona be pekun. Ifa says, no wise person can pour water into a cloth and tie it in a knot and it will stay. No wise person can take all the grains of sand and count little pieces. Nobody can do that. No wise person can say, hey, that's the same fly I saw yesterday. So it's talking about we don't know everything. So that's how we start, that energy of knowing, like Iya said earlier, no one knows everything. You're not going to be penalized for not knowing. But the whole thing is to learn. The Odu of the year said we should be learning Ifa, and humbly, and we should be patient with the people who we are teaching and who you're sharing with. Be patient with them. You know, that goes for us, that goes for you. You're trying to share some with someone, be patient with them because they don't have these concepts. And so we're saying, what do we practice? Ifa is what we practice. So a lot of people are going to come to you with the Abrahamic traditions in their head. That's how they're going to see things. So when they're saying, do you believe in one God? Really, Olodumare does not mean God. Olo, owner, Odu of the Odumare is something that's never going to end, that's inexhaustible, something that never ends. It's so, when I first heard this, Diallo Awoda was telling me, Ibai, he's able now. He was saying that it's something that's so far away that we can't comprehend. It's also been said that Mare is something that's, it's a pot. Odu is a pot, an ancient word for pot. It's the womb of the universe, the pot of the universe that you can dig and dig and dig and you will never exhaust it. That's what Ifa is speaking about. It's something, so when we say God, Olodumare covers that and then some.
It's not a person.
It's
everything.
It's everything.
It goes and goes and goes, never ending. So this is one of the things that we talk about. We don't compare Ifa to other traditions because our concepts are our own.
Yes.
And we don't need to play that game of, oh, how is it like this or how is it like that, or, you know, making people feel more comfortable about what we practice by like comparing, oh, you know, it's just like this. I'm just saying we don't need to do that. If people want to know about your Ifa and what your spiritual practice is, and they want to have that conversation, then we can do that exchange. But if people are trying to convince you of something else or proselytize in a way, which we don't do, then, you know, they probably aren't willing to have the conversation. But we want to give you the basic information so that you can, you know, fully explain to people. So Olodumare is, that's an unforeseen or felt entity. There's no face, there's no gender. So we say, we're speaking English, right? So we can say God, but it's, you guys, as so you know, it's way deeper than just what we know of as God. So then there's Orunmila. Orunmila is our prophet.
Orunmila. That's another.
Don't get too deep, Baba. We got
it. Orunmila is, people will say the prophet of Ifa. We'll use that word. But Orunmila was many things. That's why in one of the prayers, we say, Orunmila, if you're at the farm, please come home. Orunmila, if you're at the river, please come home. Orunmila, if you're hunting, please come home. We're talking about all these things that Orunmila is capable of doing. Orumila is capable of doing all these things. But now we say, come back and be the diviner. That's why we say, Orumila ileri iping. Ileri iping means that Orumila set ileri iping ibikeji olodumare. Ileri iping means the witness to, iping is like your lot, your destiny in life. And so Orumila, that's why Orumila can read everybody, humanity. Orumila can read humanity. Orumila is for humanity. So when we say Orumila ileri iping ibikeji olodumare, means second ibikeji, second to olodumare, meaning that Orumila sat there when we were choosing our destiny. And that's a big, big piece. Choose. That's where the three pieces of Ori come in. So we say Orumila, then we have Ori. We can stay on Orumila. That's a big, big thing. Orumila was, it is said in some circles that Orumila helped put together the Odus in Orun. So when we say, how old is Ifa? Some people will say, oh, it's 10,000 years old. But I heard some Awos the other day talking about Ifa being older than that, because the Odus existed before they came here. That tells you how old the system is. They existed before it came here. The Odus are entities themselves, and we're gonna get to that piece. So Orumila ileri iping, the witness to the destiny of humanity. That's why anyone can come and get a reading. It's not for this group, not for that group, not for this group, not for that group. It's for everyone. That's why we say Ifa for all. Afede Feyo. Orumila Afede Feyo. That's the name of the sea lake. Afede Feyo is the a praise name for Orumila. He's a polyglot. Orumila spoke many, many languages. That's why anybody can come and get divination done. Orumila speaks many, many languages. So when people say, do I have to be this to practice Ifa? Do I have to be a certain look or a certain way to get Dafa done? No, you don't. The Opuele, the Ikin, the Orogbo, the Obiabata, the Owoyo, the cowrie shells, and all the other the devices that we used to divine with, they are going to speak. They are going to speak. And how many of you have that Dafa in here? Oh, that looked like 4 people. You don't have to be shy. We ain't hiding nothing. Most of you are here because you've had Dafa done. Or do you not know what Dafa is?
Well, that's the one on the list.
There we go. There we go.
So
that's why we're doing this. Dafa is divination. Da-ifa. Dafa is divination. If I said, how many of you had a reading? Just about everybody in here should raise your hand. You've had a reading. Whether it was with Lukumi, whether it was Condomble, or Ifa proper, you've had a reading. So, Dafa, I'll back up and go back to Ori too. But Dafa, Da means to throw or cast Fa, Ifa. So now this is how this goes. Orumila inoshe meji, sheshe alango alango sheshe. Orumila was a wrestler. He was a fighter. And he wasn't making any money being a fighter. And he was told in divination, Orumila went and got divination too. That shows you. There's even Odus that say Olodumare got divination. That's another story. But Orumila went and had divination done in Sinoshe Meji, and there's a couple other Odus that speak on it. And he wasn't making any money, but he loved wrestling. He loved fighting. Ijakadi. Ijakadi is a form of Yoruba fighting. So he was the best in all of Yoruba land. Nobody could beat him. But his wife was like, bro, you ain't making no money. He was that guy, but he loved it. So he would go all over Yoruba land, defeating everybody. Nobody could beat him. But he was broke. His family never saw him. There was no money in the home. He was broke. And it was affecting his relationship. So Eshu says, Baba, you need to make them pay. When they come to you, make them pay. But here's the thing. You have to let them beat you. Odumila's, no, I'm not letting anybody beat me. I said, no, you have to let them beat you. Tell them, if you pay me, If you pay me, you get to throw me down. So da means to dash. Fa. Ifa. That's what this is. The Opuele, the divination tool we use. When I throw that down, that is symbolic of Orumila's life as a wrestler. So you got to pay me for me to throw the Opuele. That's in Oshe. So this also goes to the point of Awo's not being broke, not living in poverty. We talked about this earlier. You see how Ifa can start one place and go another place, right? So this is a divining tool that we use, a major divining tool, Opuele. And there's different stories about the Opuele. All the divining tools have an Odu that gave birth to them. All of them.
So let's talk about Odu.
Okay. So, Odu, go ahead, Iya.
So there you have Dafa. Dafa is the divination in Ifa.
Ashe.
So when many times people's segue into our tradition is they want to get a reading,
Ashe.
which is called Dafa for us. You know, as if you're coming into the tradition and you want to be a practitioner, you should know that when you get a reading, it's called Dafa. Because our readings are not just a one-time thing. You come, you get some information, and you walk away. When you come and get Dafa, it is connected to an Odu, an Ifa scripture. Within each Odu that you might get, which will be specifically for you, and there are 256, but Baba will talk about that in a minute. When you get that Odu, there is homework prescribed, baked into the Odu. And then you do that homework, which is Ebo. And you will bring a certain amount of things. It's very specific to the Odu. So you can't come in and say, well, I feel like bringing some flowers and, some KFC. Doesn't work that way. The Odu will tell you exactly what you bring because it's directly related to whatever Odu you get. So when you get Dafa will give you an Odu, which is Ifa scripture. Baba, what is Odu? Odu, the scripture.
Okay. So the Odu, there are 256 Odus. In the beginning, we have 16 Mechis. Mechi means double. The Odus, that means the Odu is the same on both sides. We don't have Camellia doing a artwork there. So let's say if it's Ejiogbe. So if we were put the marking, it's going to look like this. Boom, 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 boom. 1, 1, 1, 1 on both sides, the same. If it's Oyeku, it will be 2 marks. It'll be like the back of my hand. Dark, 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 dark. Does that make sense? Right? So it's in columns of 4. I'm not going to go into the whole binary thing of the computer system and all that, but it is a binary system. It is a binary system. And so the Odus carry an energy from Orun to here. The Odus are their own entity. They're not just a thing. They're their own entity. They carry energy. Some people say they're like astrology signs. You could say that for making the comparison, but the Odus are very deep. They have their own energy. They have their own attitude. And when there are the 16 Mejis, it's Ejiogbe, Oyeku Meji, Iwori Meji, Idi Meji, Irosu Meji, Owanri Meji. What's next? Obada Meji, check in. What's next? Okanran Meji, what's next? Ogunda Meji, Osa Meji, Ika Meji. Stop there. That's the Odu of the year. Oturupon Meji. Go like this. Your left hand. Put your thumb inside. Close it. Touch the earth 3 times. Touch your chest. Touch the earth. Touch your chest. Touch the earth. Touch your chest.
Sure.
And hold it there. Take a deep breath. Let it go. Take a deep breath. Let it go. Take a deep breath. Let it go. Okay? You feel that? You feel it? That is to relieve anxiety. In my lineage, I don't know about others, in my lineage, when Oturapo Mechi comes, that's what we do. And there's medicine that I'm not sharing on the internet, but I have to make for you guys, and some of you will be able to take it, some of you may not, but I will share that with you. That'll be maybe a month or so. I have to make it, and those who want it can get it. But that is something that helps remove anxiety. So that, boom, boom, boom. It's also done in other forms of divination. But Oturapo Mechi, the nickname Ologbo Mechi. No, I gotta do it. Let me do it. She's trying to keep me from going out there. Because it's the Odu of the year, it's talking about knowledge and learning. So that's what we're doing. But it's also talking about family. Oturapo Mechi is about family coming together and teaching. And family coming together and teaching the children so that things are not forgotten and things don't go by the wayside. And specifically talking about Ifa, that's why Ifa said, no syncretism this year. Stick with Ifa. Be comfortable with Ifa. Don't be all over the place that cause you confusion. Oturapo Mechi talks about coming together, parents taking care of their children, children learning from their parents. So this is to relieve anxiety.
So that's a good example that within the Odus,
Yes.
there are medicines.
Ashe.
We make, different things with leaves specific to each
Yes.
Odu. So you just got one piece of kind of a ritual we do that comes from Oturapo Mechi.
Ashe.
So,
Thank you.
Oturapo Mechi. Otura Mechi.
Thank you.
Keep going.
Otura Mechi. Irete Mechi. Oshe Mechi. Ofu Mechi. Epa Odu. See, now you learned something else. When we say Ofu Mechi, we say Epa Odu. We're greeting that Odu. That's standard. That's what we should all, these are the things that we're talking about. We should know that.
So those were the first
16.
Odus. The base 16 Odu give us all the rest of the combinations. So within each one of those Meijis, you can get all the combinations that come within that. And then it just cycles out to give you 256. And Baba likes to call them 256 therapists. But the beauty of going to get Dafa and getting your Odu or getting a Odu is you sit on the mat with whoever's giving you Dafa. It could be a Babalawo, Iyalorisha, Babalorisha. They get a specific Odu for you. It's specific to you in that moment in time. Whatever you need to hear will come, and whether it's Ire coming to you or whether some obstacles need to be cleared, it's for you in that moment. And however many verses the person reading you will share with you. There are so many verses within each Odu, they may not apply to you. So it's important to be present when you're getting Dafa and listen to what applies to you. Because people will leave, they'll get a Dafa and an Odu and say, well, he didn't tell me about this, and somebody told me this exists in that Odu. That might not apply to you. So anyways, it's for you in that moment, which I think is an amazing thing that Ifa speaks to us where we are in our life. When I got Dafa at 14, very different than when I got Dafa for my birthday in December, right? So it's important to know that your life is changing and the Odu speak to you in that moment. Shango can be walking with you today because you need strength, justice, whatever it is. And maybe 4 years from now, Oshun is walking with you because you need self-love and abundance and coolness, whatever it is. So it's important to know Ifa comes to speak to you in that moment in your life. And then there's homework. But so that's the Odu.
So yeah, and staying on that top of Odu, that's our base for everything. And many times when we hear people speak about Ifa, they're not talking about the information. Where does it come from? How many of you had said to people about Odu when people ask you a question? Most of us don't. We don't talk about Odu. But you can say Olodumare carries the Odu, the mystery of the Odu. Well, who's Olodumare? Like we said earlier, it's an energy. And there's a whole debate around that. But the Odu, there's an Odu, there are many Odus for the drum.
Ding ding gura.
Din din guda, din din guda. That's Idi Gunda. Idi Gunda is the Odu. Idi Gunda. It talks about somebody who hasn't been respected. It talks about the doom doom drum. And nobody respected this drum. And the doom doom was staying back. And Ifa said that the doom doom drum has to come out and play early in the morning on the roadside so people will see him. People will find him. People in high status will find the doom doom drum. Din din guda, din din guda, din din guda. When that Odu comes, you have to play the drum. So the Odu gives you the base for everything. Everything. You know, so that's a piece. And you're trying to explain to people. You can say scripture. But ours is the Odu Ifa. The Odu Ifa. Again, the Megis, the 16 basic Megis, those begin it. Then when the first Odu and the second Odu, we talked about this earlier, come together. Ogbe and Oyeku come together. Baba, Amalulu, Amulu, Apola means when the Odus combine. Now you have something different. Now the energies are combining and creates a whole nother set. And that's why earlier when we asked Boston and he talked about the book of Ogbe. There's a book of Oyeku. There's a book of Iwori. You remember all the 16 Odus? They have their own book. And within that book is tons of information about the universe. And certain regions will have Odus that carry their ashe. Each town in Yoruba land traditionally has its own Odu. Each town. Ibadan, Odu is Oshemechi. O-S-E, Oshemechi. That's Ibadan's Odu. You ask any Awo there, any priestess of Orisha, you say, what's the Odu of Ibadan? They will tell you. Ibadan is a city in Nigeria that's huge and very populated, and it was founded by warriors. So Ibadan is strong Ashe. So Odu is everything for us. It is everything for us. Agboato.
Within each Odu, there will be Orisha
Ashe.
that will come to support you. So when you get a reading, like I said, maybe Shango comes up in that reading for you. So for that time period, you know which forces in nature are coming to support you.
Ashe.
The Odu itself is an entity, it's alive, it comes to support you. But then with that, the Orisha, the Urumole, maybe your Egun, maybe your ancestors come to support you. So the Odu is our foundation. You can't have Ifa without a story, and our stories are
Ashe.
within the Odu.
Ashe.
So Baba, as in pure Awo fashion, when he's telling you about an Odu, he's telling you a story. It's story time up in here. You can't get away. You can't get away from it. You can't be like, oh, I'm gonna tell you about Ogbe Oyeku and not tell you the story that goes with it. So, in saying that, some people will be. Sometimes it can feel cryptic. Well, wait a minute. What do you mean? I'm the sweet potato, or like, what does that mean? So you gotta kind of take a minute to digest what the story is and who you are. It'll say cast divination for so-and-so who went to the town of da-da-da-da-da to do this thing. Did he do the abo or did he not do the abo? for Agogo, who was being punished and hit all of the time. People were hearing him, there's all these stories, but it's to help you be able to visualize who you are in it, what you can become, how you can move through it.
What you can become, that's good.
Or if you don't do the Ebo, what could happen? Right? So then you have the Ire and the Ibi inside of your Dafa. But everything comes into fruition within the Odu. You have spirit supporting you. You will always greet your Ori. Like all of these prayers and things that come out in an Odu will let you know what you need in your life. Some people need to stand up for themselves, so an Orisha will come to help them do that. Some people are disconnected from their own spiritual head, so Ori practice needs to come in. Some people don't respect their mother or father. It's real life stuff. Odus will speak to everything. Someone's being disrespected at work, that will come up. So the Odus are deep, and there's so many of them, and there's lots of verses within each one, but it's our foundation.
Ashe. So with that, you said Ori. So Ori is a big part of our tradition. O-R-I, Ori. You have Oriole Day. A lot of you guys know this. Oriole Day is your outer head that represents your destiny. But it is also the things that pick up stuff from the outside world. What you see, what you breathe, what you eat, what you hear affects your Ori. In turn will affect your Emi, your spirit. Also can affect your Inu, your stomach, meaning getting into your emotion. Inu midun latimore. Inu midun, that means I'm sweet, my insides are sweet that I've met you. So when you meet somebody. So that is all part of Ori, is part of Odu, is part of the culture. So Ori, Ode, is your outer head. That's your physical head, the thing that everybody sees. The thing that everybody sees. But it is also the thing that collects stuff from the outside world. Does that make sense? You understand? It's things that collect, because your Ori is that sensor. You got to put food here. You have to see. You have to hear. You have to breathe. All that, it becomes a sensor of how you're moving in the world. Then, once it goes inside here, now what happens? How does your Ori Inu, which is your spiritual side, represented by Idodo, your navel, how does your Ori Inu, your character, process all the stuff you're getting? That's a big piece. So Ifa says, especially in Isheshe, there's nothing Orisha can give you without the sanction of your head. That's something we should always remember. So that also means the onus is on you to see how you're walking in the world. Ogbeyonu says that. Who has Ogbeyonu? Somebody has Ogbeyonu. Yeah. Ogbeyonu is there's many pieces in Ogbeyonu. Ogbe Ogunda. It's a Odu that says, may my character not spoil my destiny. Those are the things that we need to say. We need to get those types of things in our head. May my character not spoil my destiny.
You can quote Rumi, but you can also quote the Odu Ifa.
Ashe. That's real. That's what we want to do. We want to get to the point of, like Iya said, quoting Odu. Ifa says, may my character not spoil my destiny.
And it's not just an African proverb, it's Odu Ifa.
It's Odu Ifa. A lot of the Yoruba proverbs come out of Odu Ifa. And you will hear Yoruba Christians saying this, and they don't know they're reciting. They don't know they're saying pieces of Odu. Su'uru ni babaiwa. You guys hear that all the time, right? What does that mean?
Father is the patience of good character.
Yes. We say that to the kids all the time. The grandkids, we used to always say that. Get it in their head. So they grow up hearing that. But then you say, what Odu did that come from? Oh, Ogbeogunda. Right? Yoruba wedding, again, is tied in Odu. Igbe Yawo. You hear? Yawo, his wife. Igbe means to carry. Igbe means to carry or support. That's in the Odu. Again, that's in Ogbe Ogunda, right? Ogbe Ogunda, it's in that Odu. So the Odus carry so much information, which in turn, again, works with your Ori. Your Ori is connected to Odu. And in Orun, there are Irumole, Ori, Orisha. They're waiting to work with you. They're trying to figure out their assignment. The Orishas have an assignment to support your Ori. They have their own destiny. Orishada, Orisha means a selected head. It doesn't mean God. So that's another thing we change our terminology when we understand the language. Because we can say, oh, Ogun is the god of this. Shango's, no, it's the Orisha. Orisha is very different than saying God. It's very, very different. It means a selected head. So there is Ori, which is your head. Your own personal, we can use savior. Okay? Your Oriode, your Ori Inu. And then there are aspects of your Ori that Aleda is an aspect of your Ori. Aleda means the one that created you from Orun, from so-called the realm of heaven. See, Aleda, that's another aspect of Ori. Aleda, Aleda, the owner of the one that created your Ori. So the concept of Ori is deep. You know, I'm shotgunning, but I'm giving you pieces. So when, again, you're having conversation, people say, well, what is this thing? How do you figure this out? Ori is a part of us that makes us responsible. Again, Obe Ogunda, Obe Yonu says, Mobadimu, I hold my own head. I hold my own head for support. Sure. That means you're responsible. Yeah, other things can influence you outside, but what is your head doing? You've done tons of elbow. You sacrifice this, sacrifice that, given this, given that, nothing's happening. It's usually your Ori that's blocking it. It's usually your Ori. It could be somebody throwing medicine at you. Could be. It could be something ancestral. Could be. But most of the time it's here. And that's why Falolu says, Maoluwo says, Aini Igbagbo Khan, doubt. Not having faith in your heart. Not having faith. Doubt. Don't take doubt to your reading. I'm going to go get it, but
it's probably not going to work.
Yeah.
Nothing works for me.
That's part of your Ori and part of your ME. Blocking the reading. It could be right on point and you won't hear anything. But what about this? If I just told you.
Yeah.
But what about that? If I just told you. You won't hear it. And then what'll happen, you'll go somewhere and you'll walk in the house and somebody will go, you know, da-da-da-da, and you go, oh, damn, that's what the Baba said. That's what the Iya said. Sometimes you won't get it if you take that. My Baba says, don't take that doubt into Ebo. You go get your elbow done, you're doubting. You don't think the elbow's good. That shows you the power of Ori and the power of Emmi, your spirit. When they start to work together, it can shut stuff down. So now what the Orisha have to do, the Orisha, they have a duty to assist you. That's their destiny. But now you're making their destiny hard. You're making it hard. So what happens? You get punched. So now you say, oh, Ogun is punishing me. Oshun's mad at me. No, they're like, no, fool. We got to shake you up because your head's not right. When your head's not right, the Orisha have to work so hard. And sometimes they come in, I like to say, they come in like an intervention. We got to take over. That's not their duty to take over. It's our responsibility to get our head right. That's why we say, let me get my head right. Let me think about it. Let me wrap my head around it. He's a knucklehead. He's hard-headed. All those sayings come from somewhere. we brought them over here, but they apply to humanity. When I was growing up, we said, oh man, he got the big head. Anybody know what that means?
Arrogant, conceited.
Yeah, see? Arrogant, conceited. I didn't even have to go into it. And Ifa says, may your head swell with ire. May your head swell with confidence. We want your head to swell, but not in arrogance. But that's what we heard. Well, he got the big head. So big head in ire, or big head in eb. And good or negativity. So ori is vital. So we work on our ori, we work on how we're working in the world. That's Oriel Day. How are you moving in the world? Even to the point of how you fix yourself up. How you fix yourself up. Abuato.
So all of you pretty much know this. Ori is so important for us as a practice.
Ashe.
When you wake up in the morning, you should be greeting your own Ori before you greet anything
Ashe.
else.
Ashe.
It's kind of a form of self-love. Well, it's the highest self-love, but your
Yes.
Ori is directly connected to your destiny. So
Ashe.
when you feel like you're out of sorts and things aren't aligning for you, you don't really know what's going on, you feel not yourself, your Ori is probably out of alignment. So Ifa practice is always hold your head. And Baba quoted, like, I hold my own head. Did you say that?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. No body move.
So
No body move.
you hold your own head in the morning. You can't hold her head or his head. You hold your own head.
That's right.
You should always greet your own Ori. Every morning when you wake up, that's an Ifa practice. I greet my own head in the morning. You wake up, you greet your head, you start your day. Our goal is that we're always, I like to, the visualization is that you want the string from your Ori to spirit, the higher spirit. It's your highest spiritual elevation, right? You want that string to be taut. When your Ori is floating away from you, that's when things are out of alignment and you don't feel like yourself. Then you're doubting everything. You can't allow your blessings to come to you. Just nothing can be in alignment if your Ori is not aligned. And like Baba said, Orisha can give you nothing without the sanction of your Ori. So the first work we do is Ori work. You don't need anyone else to hold your head. You can hold your own head. And so Ori practice is huge for us. You can't do anything. When you go to get dafa, they're spraying your Ori.
Ashe.
You're gonna taste the Odu through your mouth.
Ashe.
They're probably gonna put some Odu on your head. These are all things
That's
that
right.
it's just you for ballet when you come into dafa, you touch your Ori to the head. I mean to the earth. All of this it starts with your Ori. It can't start anywhere else. It starts with your own Ori. And when you're out of alignment, your life will be out of alignment. Everything will feel out of whack. So for us, you know, it's up here and then it's Ori practice and then the Orisha come to assist. If your Ori's not right, no one can help you. We can do all the rituals in the world. We can pray for you, but if your Ori is off, and Baba gave a good example. You come, you get a dafa, he's spoken for an hour, and the first thing you say, why does this keep happening to me? I'm sure Ifa just gave you all this information, but people don't want to be in alignment. You know, don't absorb the information, won't let themselves receive the ashe, because it always has to be blocked. So if you're always blocking things, it's probably because you're out of alignment with your Ori, and that can come in many different forms.
Yes.
You might not love yourself. You know, someone's always told you you're not good enough. Whatever it is, you don't think you're deserving of this. Money shouldn't come to you. So honoring your Ori and doing that on a daily basis, it will change your life. That's a huge piece for us in Ifa. You can't practice Ifa without honoring your Ori.
Don't believe everything you think. Don't believe everything you think. My grandmother used to say, stop thinking that. Stop thinking that. Stop thinking that. That was old pipe smoking black woman metaphysics. Stop thinking that. You're gonna make that happen. Right? Yeah, Malidoma Somé told me when I was working with him many years ago. He said, every thought you have goes out into the universe. He said your life and your action creates the ones you pull in and manifest. That's pretty profound. And then most of the bad ones don't happen. Most of them don't happen. But when they start happening, what is that about? You said, man, I knew that was going to happen. Why don't we say, I knew that was going to happen for good things? We don't want to manifest so much fear and ajogun. Because like we've said for years, one will call the other. So as negative ajogun call another one, so can Ire. Ire of joy can call the Ire of Owo of money. Hey, Owo, come over here and visit. So-and-so's really happy now. They're ready to receive that check. Come over here. They're ready to receive that joy. They're ready to receive the love from that parent. We have medicine that is in the Odu that you take to help with forgiveness. And you guys know that I've given to you. I said, I don't use it yet until you're ready to forgive. Because once you get the dafa, once you get the reading, now the energy is activated and the energy goes out. So then the next thing you know, you were mad at somebody, talk about, next thing you know, your phone rings and it's that person. You go, damn. And it happens. So then you're like, Baba, they just called me as soon as I got home. And the Ifa said, what do I do? I said, are you ready? Because the Odu's already working. It's already working. I said, wait a minute, use the soap first. Sure. Because the soap will prepare you to hear the apology, to receive the apology. Or it's an opening for you to apologize. Again, this is going back to Ori and going back to the Dafa.
Well, Baba, this is a good segue for you to get to Ebo because, the soap could come out of Ebo.
Ashe. That's good. So when you get Dafa done, there has to be Ebo or Adimu. Ebo or Adimu. Let me speak from my lineage. I'll say that. So the Ebo can require many things. Ebo is a system. It's not just say, Baba, I want to do an Ebo. Can we do an Ebo? No, you have to get Dafa first. Dafa first, then the Ebo comes. So the Dafa comes first. You get the Dafa, it gives you the advice. The advice, which is really, really important. The advice is important. Orumila Opitan Fe. Opitan, the historian of the Fe. Orumila becomes the historian of your life. Opitan Fe. Opitan is a historian. That's why they say Itan. Itan is the history. Itan is the history. Opitan. Orumila owns the history. And the Odus assist in telling the history of what's going on. When you get Dafa done, the Opon, the information be coming from heaven, be coming from earth, from your physical and spiritual past and your future. They all intersect. They all intersect. Which one is affecting you? Is this Odu talking about something that you brought from Orun, that is part of your destiny? Or is it something that you have created on earth? Because sometimes Ifa says we are the ones that create our own problems. Did you create this on earth? Is it something from your physical and spiritual past? Is it something that's ahead of you? There's no linear time in divination. And so the Odus will help. You want to do something?
I just want to show.
The Odus will help sort that out. So on the Opon, right? The Opon. You'll see the symbol for Ifa. The symbol for Ifa, it's a line, right? a line, and then a circle. It almost looks like a bullseye. It almost looks like a bullseye. And so what we're doing is we're seeing what is coming symbolically from a room. What's happening here on earth. What's coming from your past, right? And what's coming from your future. And how do they intersect? And how do you sort all that out? That's why we... You guys feel that? That's why we tap the center of the tray. We're calling on your Ori. We're calling on your Ori. We're calling on the Irumole. We're calling on the Orisha. We're calling on Egun to all come and assist. But we're calling on, there's some other energies in there too I didn't mention. But we're calling on some other energies to come and assist us in our life. But we're greeting Orumila. But again, that's part of Odu, working with your Ori, Orishada. So Ebo. Make sure I go back to Irumole.
Yes, Papa.
Ebo. Ebo does not happen, E-B-O. Ebo does not happen without Dafa. It doesn't happen. You have Bibo, B-I-B-O. Bibo means to feed. It's a ritual that's done to feed the Orisha. Bibo can be part of the Ebo. Okay, so you get Dafa, we say, what is the Ebo? So now, the Ebo is a prescription of things to do to help the Odu move forward, to help block something, to help soften something. That's the Ebo. And the Ebo, like Iya was saying earlier, there's many components to the Ebo. But Ebo Riru is a system. You don't just make stuff up. It's already set in place.
Ancient.
And it
system
works.
that has been
It works.
done for centuries.
And it works, or else people ain't gonna keep coming back to stuff if it don't work. They'll be like, I want my money back. It works. Ebo works. So the Ebo is its own entity. Once you do the Ebo, you use all the ingredients and you do all those things. Now we have to be patient to see if the Ebo's moving. Sometimes the Ebo, because it's not linear, the Ebo will go back in time and repair something that you didn't even know. The Ebo will move forward and fix something that you need fixed. And it may do something before you get there. The Ebo can help repair something that you brought here with you. But not just repair, but also bless.
Sure.
Okay? And bring Ray to. And the Ebo can also work what we're dealing with right now. So there is no linear time when you get Dafa done. Abuato.
This is also why if you're coming to get Dafa, you do the Ebo. This is not a system where you're like, I don't feel like, I'm not going to do the Ebo. If you're doing the Dafa, you do the Ebo.
Ashe.
Otherwise, you can go somewhere else. Because there are lots of different systems that don't require homework. We can call it homework.
Yeah.
Is the easiest way to put it. But if you're not going to do the Ebo, this is probably not the right system for you. Because there's reciprocity in Ifa.
Ashe.
You come get the information, and the Odu has a prescription for you. You don't go to the doctor and I'm like, I ain't picking up that prescription. No, you went to the doctor to find out what was wrong with you.
That's
and
right.
so when the doctor prescribes the medicine, you take the medicine.
Ashe. Ashe.
It's the same thing. There's no not doing the Ebo. And people are scared to do the Ebo, or I don't know what's the Ebo. It's a system that goes together.
Yes.
You have to do the Ebo. You have to do it's recommended. No one's ever going to tell you. Baba will say, you really should complete the Ebo. You really want to get this done. And it's up to you, because as human beings, we have free will. We can't force you to do the Ebo, but you should do the Ebo.
Ashe.
Because there's no way to make it move,
That's right.
to break up. You do all the things so that everything manifests for you.
And the prescription is it's a set
So
thing.
specific.
It's so specific. You know, the prescription is amazing what they do. And the prescription doesn't always involve things. Although Ebo has certain items that are standard for the Ebo, but then the things that are added to it, that's what we will say. Bring this, bring that, bring this. And sometimes part of the Ebo could say, stop the behavior. Stop doing this, stop doing that. Years ago, I tell the story of somebody, this happened twice. Somebody that came to me that was molesting children. And Ifa said, stop the behavior. That was it. This person cried like a baby. Baba, I will do anything. I'll go I'll do whatever it takes. Ifa said, stop the behavior. So this was an issue that was so embedded in their behavior. Ifa said, stop. That simple. Not easy to hear. And then I had another one close to that where Ifa said, this person is getting ready to do that. Ifa said, we got to do Ebo. Because they're getting ready to do this thing. And both of those people I never saw again. They did, but the one, I pray that he stopped the behavior. The other one did the Ebo, never saw him again. So I'm praying that their lives are good, that they didn't continue that. But if I will see those things, you know, so sometimes it's an issue of attitude. That's what Oyekumeji said. This attitude must stop. You're blocking your joy. Stop that attitude. Stop that attitude. But other times, Ifa says, nah, you got to bring this airway in. This airway is a leaf that will help you work on forgiveness and then help you work on favor. Oh, we got to bring this ram in because this ram carries the ashe of boom, giving you breakthrough. Giving you breakthrough, breaking through something because your Ori is not strong enough to do it. You know, because these things are working in the spirit realm. They're working in the spirit realm. And then they're assisting you in the physical realm.
Sure.
So we're asking, this comes together. And again, your Ori is a part of that. And so with the Orisha are amazing, amazing beings. Years ago, a lady told me when I first got in tradition, she said, I'm just trying to be an Orisha. And I was like, you can't be I didn't understand the concept at the time. But now I do. We're all striving to be Orisha. We're all striving to be the Orisha of our family. What does that mean? That you are selected, Orisha means Ori that is selected. That your Ori is selected by, I say, my grandchildren and my children. Me and Iya, we're trying to be Orisha for our family. So that when we leave here, that our family's saying, this is what, and of course we say elevated ego. But we're saying we are choosing our mom and dad. What did they like to eat? What did they wear? What were the attributes that they had that were good? What were the things that they did that teach us how to handle temper, how to handle rejection? That's what Orisha teaches us. So when that lady said that, I said, oh, this is okay. So that's our goal, to become elevated human beings so that we can help our family, that we can help those close to us. It may not be your children. It could be people that loved you. Even people that love you become your family. They become your egbe. Your egbe. Your egbe aye. Which egbe orun is your comrades, your mates, your spiritual family in heaven. So then we go to Irumole. The Irumole are entities that some of them became Orisha, but there are entities that are in this other realm. They're not Orishas. They're in the other realm. Some people say heaven. That their job is to work for us before we get here. That's what many Irumole do. They work for us before they get here. Orisha are human beings that were elevated high. I heard some years ago, some Yorubas were talking about Dr. King and Malcolm X, and they said they wonder if they could have the status of Orisha because of the things they had done. I mean, that's what saints are. They're elevated. They're elevated. So the Orisha are human beings that become elevated. There's also Irumole, like I said, the Irumole, that's a whole deeper conversation, but there are these energies that assist in Orun, but they're not necessarily Orishas. But go ahead, Boston. Your question.
Maybe too big of a question. But I was wondering if you could
Agboato.
speak about if Orisha are human beings who are elevated, and Egungun were also, I'm talking about the masquerade Egungun were also human beings who are elevated. How does that difference play out?
Oh, that's a big question. And more time. So there are Egungun that are connected to Orisha. So certain Orisha have their own Egungun, and then I just learned not too long ago that there is an Orisha for a particular Egun. So it goes like this. It gets really, really deep. And then we haven't even talked about the aspect of Egbe. So you guys see, this is a lot.
But can
So-
you say that Orisha are kind of higher than Egungun, or not really?
That's a great question. I'm gonna plead Ologbo Meji.
Okay.
That's a grain that I don't know. but that's a good conversation.
Because theoretically, they're both human beings who died and then were elevated, but they
Yes.
have a different role in the cosmology of the system.
So okay, there are also, I'm trying to be safe. There are also aspects of Egun that have not been human beings. That have not been.
Okay, so why don't you talk about what Egun is? Were you done with the Irumole? That's why we gotta wait.
Yeah.
So.
Cause see how it
Irumole-
starts to go deep? Ifa's not like, it is this, and it's not this. I mean, it's like this, it's layered.
So the Urumule come in and also assist us with staying in alignment with our destiny.
Yes,
As in the same way that Orisha
Yes.
does. But the Urumule assist us before we get here.
yes,
Do they continue to assist us while we're here?
yes.
Okay. And then the Orisha, how did the Orisha manifest and then help us here?
Okay, so again, the Orisha were selected. They're selected heads. And there are also human beings that did amazing things that elevated. So if you look in our paper, I have a whole thing that says which are Irumole, which are Orisha. Shango is an Irumole and an Orisha. There's different aspects of Shango. You know, some we need more time.
And the Orisha, but just the basics. So the Orisha came and
And some of them manifested into nature. But Oya is not the wind. Oya is many things. But Oya is also the river. River.
you're just gonna start blowing people's mind, literally blowing people's mind. But so let's talk about the basic Orisha that most people know about: Obatala, Oshun, Shango, Obatala, Eshu,
Eshu.
Yemoja.
What somebody say?
I need the kindergarten version.
Yeah, so there you'll hear people talk about the 7 major Orisha, right? We have many Orisha. It's like Odu. There are too many to name. But if you're thinking about forces in nature, and you can think about all the different ways in which the forces of nature manifest, there's entities that are manifesting within those forces of nature. So it's way more than 7, obviously, right?
So you say Amakisi.
Well, no.
No, I gotta say it though. Because Amakisi is light. Is light. Is an Orisha of light. But not Orisha, Irumole. Irumole. Amakisi is one that we greet in the morning. It's light. Some people say sun, but Amakisi is a light that comes from the east. So it starts to get to be a lot. Eshu is Nirumole that came and then also became an Orisha. That's why Eshu resides in the Odu Oshetura. We talked about that yesterday in Oshetura. You guys know Oshetura is the 17th Odu. Eshu resides in that. Eshu's Nirumole. Obatala is Obatala is Nirumole. Obatala is Nirumole. Ogun is Nirumole that also became an Orisha. So we need more time on that.
Yeah, we can do a
Yeah.
whole service
Yeah.
just on Orisha.
Yeah.
But the point is that there are forces in nature that the Orisha come and kind of
Work with.
work with
to
to move things forward in our lives.
Afufulele, Afefelele, those are, Afufulele is strong wind. Afefelele is gentle wind. They can assist Oya. They can assist Oya in Oya's mission. But my Baba was telling me that there are certain rituals we do just for the wind, but it doesn't necessarily involve Oya. You know, does that make sense? Yeah, so you can see it's,
Now, wait. Just save it for the end, because then we're gonna keep going.
yeah.
So Orisha is kind of a much bigger construct that we probably
Anirumole.
Anirumole.
Yeah.
But just know that these forces in nature, these entities come and assist us to move our lives forward. Okay? So we'll stop. Now let's talk about Egun. And we're gonna end soonish, like within the
Gotta
next
get-
15 minutes.
Oh yeah, because we have soap and I want people to get the medicine from the Odu.
So let's talk about Egun. Now we have ancestor reverence in Ifa, another very, very important thing that we do. We have ancestor reverence. We call it ancestors Egun.
Egun. Okay? Egun, Egungun, Egun's all the same. It's not different. The ancestors are a piece of you. If you have children, your children are your ancestors that have come back. That is the belief. That is the belief. So your ancestors are your Egun, your children are your Egun that have moved forward. And also a part of you. We're part of our Egun. We're part of our ancestors. So when we say that you should have a shrine for your Egun, you should receive Ishan, which is the bundle for Egun. Or like you see in Lukumi, Opaiku, the staff for Egun. That's so important. Fayomi and I always say that Ori and Egun, start with that. Because most of your issues are going to come from you and your family. That's it. So we like to say that make a list of all the E-ray from your family. What is the E-ray of your family? What are the good things in your family? What are the positive things? And then make a list of the EB, so to speak, in your family, the challenges and negativity in your family. So you begin to know how to work with that, how to blend with that, how to call on so-and-so that was good with money, how to call on so-and-so, you have a fear of cooking. You call on so-and-so that will help you. You call on so-and-so that used to pick those herbs in the backyard, or somebody that may have been a doctor, or somebody that was an educator and you're having trouble with school, you have a fear of school or whatever. You call on somebody that was good that way.
You say your first line of defense.
Your first ancestors are your first line of defense. Literally, they are your protection. They are your protection. That's why psychics and mediums, who do they talk to? They talk to ancestors.
Because they're right here.
They're right here. They're right
waiting
there.
to help you. You should know their names, as many of them as you can. Call on them when you're praying. You can say the names I know, the names I do not know. It's very important to acknowledge and call on your Egun every day, if you can. Have conversations with them. They've been through it. You hold their DNA.
That's right.
Even if you're adopted, you can still call on your Egun. They'll show up whether you know their names or not. It's a very important process for us. And people tend to go, well, I didn't like my family. Or my family did bad things. Not every single person in your lineage was a bad person. There's no way. There's no way you come from a lineage of everyone being evil. Not possible. You wouldn't be
good.
here. You wouldn't be here. Right.
Or
Both
good.
things exist.
Yeah.
So, but the relationship with our Egun is very important. You shouldn't be honoring all these random people you don't know if you're not honoring yourself first. Same thing. You can't honor your own Ori and not also be honoring your Egun. It's very important to open up the universe to allow your Egun to come in and support you. This is all about support and elevation, spiritual support and elevation. When they've moved into that next realm, they're ready to help you. They're ready to do work for you. They might not have got it right here the first time, so they're gonna come back, but that's okay. They're now like, okay, I'm sorry, maybe I didn't do what I was supposed to do, but I'm still ready to help you and support you now. And sometimes we need to heal those relationships that on this plane might not have been the best. This is another way to heal it. But Egun are your support system. It goes back generation after generation. So even if you can't see the Ire in your Egun right now, there's something to call on that is positive. We all had a favorite auntie, a favorite grandma, someone who passed these things down. You got recipes that were passed down. Why do we walk this way? Why do I look this way? It's all, you gotta honor your Egun. And when you're honoring yourself, you're automatically honoring your Egun. So it starts there. It starts with your Ori.
Sure.
When you look in the mirror, you should like what you see, because you're honoring your Egun when you're giving yourself some love.
That piece is huge. Because when you hear people cursing their body parts, you're cursing your Egun. How are you gonna say you love your ancestors, but you don't like your nose? You don't like your butt. You don't like your hair. You don't like whatever. You're cursing them. You're cursing them. So and we talked about this before. How do you say, oh, I love Oshun so much, and then you go home and curse your wife out? And people do that. People do that all the time. We're human beings. We should be working on treating human beings well. Enniyan, Irosuni Wori says, human beings were the specially selected ones to bring good things from heaven to earth. Enniyan. It doesn't specify Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo, German, French. No, it says human being. Enniyan. We're all come here to attempt to do good things or to work on some healing. Do we all do it? No. Somebody got to be the bad guy in the Odu. Somebody has to be. You want to make sure it's not you. And so the piece around Egun is so important, because we're constantly working on elevating that. And that's why you will see people say, man, you act just like so-and-so. But let's encourage the good things, because usually people say negative stuff. So-and-so had a temper like that. So-and-so. Say, so-and-so was gentle. So-and-so loved to help people. We need to work on that, because it's easy to remember, and you will remember the negative stuff. Let's remember the good things and work on elevating our ancestors. This stuff we're going through in the country right now is Egun-based, believe it. If you're in this system, know that there's some work that needs to be done with ancestors in this country. I can say all over, but right now, there's some serious Egun work. That's another conversation. But
honoring the good stuff is like, you have a green thumb because of so-and-so. You know how to cook because of so-and-so. You're prayerful because of so-and-so. That kind of, pulling in all the positive. Honoring yourself, your Ori, and honoring your Egun will get you very far.
It will.
Egun will come and scoop you up and support you. Always. They're waiting for us to call on them for their help. So give them a little food. Give them a little drink. Some people put coffee out. Oh, my grandmother, we have, one of our grandmothers had to have a cold Coke can.
Yeah.
There's a can of Coke on the shrine for her. Yeah. It's like, give them what they like, just so that they know you're thinking of them.
That's right.
It's reciprocity. This is a system of reciprocity. I'm thinking of you. I'm offering you food. Yes, we know they're not gonna come down and chomp on it. It's representative of something, although sometimes I have seen some stuff happen. But,
We've
you know,
seen some things.
it's all about reciprocity. So we hope, like, look, we only got through like 6 things. We could go on and on, but we want to give a base for what we do, what's important to us, the base of why we practice what we practice. And we're going to keep doing this so that we can feel comfortable in our Isheshe, which is traditional Ifa. You know, we want to feel rooted and comfortable in our Ifa. And so hopefully, did you guys get something out of this?
Yeah.
Okay. We never know. I'm like,
I think Reba had a question. On what?
How long do you keep offering at your line?
oh,
That's a good question.
yeah, it depends. But if it's just something like food for Egun, 3 to 5 days. You also, what I find is when I put things on my shrine, especially for Egun, they stay. If they don't get weird and like stank. Yeah, so it's up to you. But like, you know, you can change it out every week. Sometimes people just leave fruit.
I feel a little bit weird just throwing it out, but that's what you do after you just throw it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can just put it in the dirt if that makes you, sometimes that'll make you, I compost it. So I know it's gonna go back into the earth.
Yeah.
Reba, is your question something we can touch on?
I don't know.
Well, we'll just tell you if it is, so.
My questions tend to be a little out there. Is it something where Orisha manifests more often in certain elements because at this point that's where they know we will look for them?
And you say, I'm trying to understand.
they-
Like,
do they-
if we're used to Oya manifesting in the wind, is that because in the history of the tradition now, spirit knows we're gonna look for Oya in the wind?
That's a good question. I would say yes.
Probably.
They definitely can make adjustments for your consciousness. I would say yes.
Also, it's a system, right? So, you know, everything is attached to what been assigned to be attached to so that we can have, you know, it's part of the system. So we, you know, Oya works with the wind, Shango works with fire, and Ogun, you know what I mean? So it's like or lightning, sorry. But you know, all the different entities work where they work so that we can have a system to identify things. Otherwise, we just be out here not having, you need structure, you know, we need the prayers, we need to know what this and this means, we need to know how the Odus come, like that's why there's a structure now. So it's just another tool that Oya needs, the thing that she works with to help us, support us on this realm, right?
And she is a river deity from Nupe. Oya is a river deity from Nupe, from the Tapa people. Remember that? Yes. Nupe, the Tapa people.
So that's actually good. Baba always
Yes.
wants to share extra information, and I want to end by saying, I mean, we're going to end with whatever Baba wants, but we're constantly learning, and everyone should be. So what the knowledge we didn't have 10 years ago and we've acquired now is because we're continually going back and forth, getting more knowledge. So if you look at something that we did 10 years ago and the accent wasn't right, or we didn't have this particular thing, sorry, but we're gonna keep learning, and we're still humble, and we're trying to share with you what we know now today,
Sure.
and that has been a cumulative base of knowledge. So
Sure. Thank you.
you know, we're gonna keep learning, and we'll keep sharing. You know, and that's the goal, that we can keep creating community and keep helping you spiritually elevate.
Ashe.
And yeah, we don't know everything, but we're trying to give you bits and pieces so that you can come up and not have to be afraid to learn, because Ifa is about community. Don't not come because you think you don't know. Come because you don't know.
Ashe.
Your ashe is just gonna grow. Your knowledge is just gonna grow, and it'll help you practice better. But having no knowledge doesn't mean you're not welcome. That's the point of life. We're all trying to learn.
Ashe.
You gotta start somewhere.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
right. That's right. Bit by bit.
So Baba is going
Soap?
to, okay, so we have soap. If you'd like to buy soap, you guys know how to make the offering, Ifa for all. on Cash App and Venmo. My husband's not here. Fanera's not here. He usually does all this. All the ways that you want to leave your offering. But there's soap for sale too, which is for.
The soap is to remove negative energy from the past. From the past. Specifically the past year, but from the past. But from the past year. So before you use it, you pray on what that is you want to release. If you don't know what it is, the soap will take care of it.
Ashe.
Your Ori, your Emmy will take care of it. But if you know what it is, you say, I would like help with this. I would like help with that, to remove that. People love this soap. I can't keep enough of it. People love it because I'm not going to say what, but people have told me it's done other things besides that. So it's good. Yes. Don't, as far as I know, no Wednesday or Saturday. But use it. No Wednesdays or Saturday. Yeah. Okay. The Odu Oturapon Mechi. I'm going to mark it on the tray, and then you guys that like, you need to either eat it or put it on your head.
But we love y'all. Thank you for coming.
Iwájú ọpọlọ gbogbo, ìyẹn ọpọlọ gbogbo, ọlọ́mọtún, ọlọ́kanọ́sí, ọlọ́pàá.
Oh, and while Baba's doing this, I want to give a shout out to my sister and her husband. So they provided the bagels, and they make them from scratch, from hand. So my nephew's up here asleep because he was up at 4 a.m. making bagels. Maya juices everything. They have this business, but they've gifted us with the food, so we're really grateful, and we're praying that everything manifests.
Ashe.
And I think you can buy stuff from them. So go and buy some bread and stuff for the week. Huh? Oh, the culture side. The culture side.
Really good. Oturapon Meji Ekabu. Oturapon Meji Ekabu. Ekabo. We pray that your families are becoming intact. We pray that the children that you tied on your back that came from Epon, Ashe, that they are taken care of. Okay? We pray that Ologbo Meji blesses us with Imo. What is Imo? Knowledge. Say it with confidence. Imo. Knowledge. Oye.
Wisdom. Oh, understanding.
Ogbon.
Wisdom.
We pray that all these things come together.
Ashe.
Don't have fear of learning.
Ashe.
Ashe, don't have fear of learning. Ashe.
Ashe.